What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a long time, but don't worry, still have the S10. If any of you are new and you're interested in that, I have a turbo LS S10, but here is the new 21 F150 lariat with the 5-liter, and it is an FX4 package. Just picked this up a couple weeks ago. It's got 40,000 on it, got a good deal on it. I'll go in more depth about the truck in another video, but for now, we are putting on the Ford Performance skid plate kit, or tremor skid plate, or Raptor-ish skid plate. If you guys are watching this video and you're looking to do this to your truck, you probably know this does not come silver. It comes black, primer black. Looking on Facebook forums, they say you can use acetone and wipe off the black and you'll reveal silver underneath. And then I dug a little deeper, and some guys say some are like that, some aren't. Mine, unfortunately, was not. I got it from Summit Racing. If you're looking to get one of these, I have an account with them. I could probably get you a better deal. Shoot me a message. So I painted mine silver. I picked up what looked like it matched almost perfect, if you can see that. Ingot Silver UX, which I believe was a Ford. Yeah, it's a Ford color. Matching the two together, they're not much different, but there is a slight difference. So my thought is, since this is painted and clear coated, I might just paint that down the road. For those of you that don't want to pay someone to paint it like myself, you can get that spray can of the Duplicolor, and then you get this 2K Spray Max clear coat. Has a little thing in the bottom, comes in the cap, you put it in the bottom, you push it. If you've never done it, this is good stuff. It's actual clear coat, essentially, is the easiest way to put it. But getting into this now, there's not many YouTube videos about it, so that's why I figured I'd make one. So this has to come off. I've already popped these out. They literally just pop off. The kit comes with the smooth ones that the tremors have. So popped them off, and right now I'm currently taking, so this is just so you have a location, taking the bolts out. There's nuts going all the way around to get the bottom valance off, and then I can pop this piece off, which mine's actually, it was broken. I just noticed it was broken before I even touched it, so I guess it's been broken since I bought it. But I'm gonna try and get all these nuts out. A lot of guys are saying you gotta take the bumper off. They're saying in the 5 liters, you can just take the fog light out. I'll let you know if I can work around that. I doubt I'm gonna be able to, looking at it. But I'll get back with you in a second and show you an update. All right, I got my lower valance, mid valance piece off, whatever you wanna call it. The piece that, you know, goes here and by the hooks. Obviously the lower valance is still on. Looking at this, I'm going to show you why the fog lights have to be removed, presumably the bumper. So right here, you got nut bolts going all the way up, or studs with nuts on them. That's 13 millimeter bolt. You can just loosen that on each side and you can get to them. But see, there's one right there. There's one right there. And then there's one, try and do this, you know, so you guys can see, but there, and there. So there's 3 that are completely blocked by the headlight and headlight bracketry, or fog light, I'm sorry, fog light. So you do have to pull that out. So I'm gonna pull that out real quick, but then once the fog lights are out and I unbolt that, lower valance will be off. And then, which I haven't mentioned yet, my truck is a Job 1 frame. So with this kit, the Job 1 frame, the holes are like this. With the Job 2 frame, they're more spread apart. So this, from what I gather, essentially needs to be like that, maybe even up further, not sure. We're gonna figure that out as we go. The Job 2 frame would basically be like that, only, you know, further up where it needs to be. So we're gonna have to figure that out. I'm just gonna drill a hole, put a bolt in it, call it a day, which should be pretty easy to do. Other than that, everything should fit. The only thing I'm concerned with right now is being that I have an FX4. This skid plate might not be able to go back on. Haven't quite gotten that far yet to figure it out, but we'll see. All right, I had enough fighting it. At the end of the day, there's 3 bolts holding the bumper on and a main connector. You disconnect, at least on year 21, job 1 trucks, you have a main connector, 3 bolts. So 3 nuts, I should say. There's 2 of them. So here's the bumper. So you can see a lot better out here. I started loosening these. I couldn't get the fog light out in the truck. I had this fog light out, but it hits the crash bar that's right here. Well, to get the crash bar out, you technically got to have the body lifted up because these bolts are yay long, and you go dink, dink. I didn't take them out because I could just, I'm a rocket scientist on some stuff, that being one of them. So you can't do that. So easiest option is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 6. I said 3 earlier. I got 3 on each side. And a main connector. That's literally it. You don't have to unplug anything else. I know right here I have this unplugged. That was for my active air dam, which is right there. And one of the little pieces is right in there. That's the only reason those are unplugged. If you have an active air dam, you'll already have that out most likely anyway. Even if you don't, it could actually stay in there. That was just me trying to fight around it. I'm gonna get the fog lights out now, and then we'll quickly take this lower air dam off, put that one on, put the bumper back on the truck. Be a 5-minute project then. All right, lower valance air dam thing that holds the entire truck together apparently is off. So I've seen some YouTube videos of guys trimming these, a little bit, trimming it flush. And I'm always like, what is with these people? You have an air saw, you have tape, stuff like that. Certainly you have, a socket set or whatever. I never looked at this thing. Now I know why. So my apologies for judging them people. I never said anything, thankfully. But this thing is bolted on like it's committed some serious felonies and is in prison for life. Because that was a fight getting that thing off. So even once you get the fog lights unbolted and say flopped out of the way, you can get to most of them. But there's this one down in here. That's annoying. Certainly you could take out 19 more bolts to take this bracket off and then easily get to it. But why? Like they had to have that bolt? I don't know. I guess it's high quality, so I shouldn't complain, but when you're trying to work on it, it's like, why do they do some of the stuff they do, But either way, it's off. Now I'm gonna put the little flaps on, the little good looking guys. And this is the biggest reason I wanted to do this, because I am gonna level the truck, but it just looks like a lowrider, and it's a 4-wheel drive truck. So I wanted it to look, oh, that's the wrong side. I just wanted it to look, good, I guess you could say. And I gotta figure out the science behind this now. There we go. All right, so there, that piece is in, that's it. They do snap in. This also has snappy pieces. I got that one out. Those ones I didn't because they were in an unobtainable spot without taking these brackets off. Don't care because I'm never using it again, so I just broke them. If you want to make it easier on yourself, you take this bracket off, but you don't really have to. You can get away with doing it like this. Now I got to put the bolts back in. Be careful with the $1 million LED fog lights there. Now I can put the nuts back on this piece and essentially put the bumper back on the truck because that's all all this fight was just for that. This thing snaps off easy. And I did realize I was getting concerned for a minute. Oh, look, the broken piece fell off. I was getting concerned because I was like, man, what's going to go where this is? I don't see a piece in the box. Well, this comes off. So not to worry if you're watching this YouTube video following along. You just take this piece off, these little dealios here that you just push back and kind of lift up, and pray you don't break it because this piece is probably $300. That piece, that's what you do with that. One thing to note, that kind of shocked me is, yes, it came with everything except for bolts. There's no bolts, no nuts, didn't come with anything. Now I get it that I can reuse most of the stuff. You know, like these aren't one-time use nuts or bolts, obviously. So I can reuse these little 10 mils, which those are what, by the way, these are all 10 millimeter. Pretty much everything so far has been 10 millimeter or 13 millimeter. The nuts to take these off are 21 mils. And these are Torx T30s. So you need a Torx T30, a 10 millimeter, a 21, and a 13 to do this job so far. And I think you might need a 15 under here. Yeah, you're gonna need a 15 there. But yeah, anyways, it's come with no nuts or bolts, unless I didn't see the bag in the box. So I'm gonna kind of ravage through that after I get the bumper back on, but this is the box it came in, and I'm not seeing any nuts or bolts. So whatever, I have nuts and bolts because I'm a shop, so that makes it easy. But for those of you doing it at home, be prepared to have to buy some body bushings and some nuts. I would recommend getting standard stuff if you do have to go buy it. Or not standard, I'd recommend getting metric because the entire truck is metric. I know it's America, but it's, you know, whatever. I'll be back once I get the bumper on. All right, bumper's back on. I really wanted to hit this angle because I want to see what the difference looks like without, you know, the giant monstrosity over there on, and just these little guys. You can see how, you know, they're probably, I don't know, maybe half an inch, maybe 3/4 of an inch big. They really make the front end appear larger, which is big in my opinion. And yes, all the bolts are back in. For those of you that are like, you probably left that bolt out. No, I'm not that guy. I put everything back in. So this one's actually easier to get to on this one because the other one is actually where this thing is originally. The original bolt is where this is, which that's just a guide rod now. And now, so they like switched the guide rod and the bolt, and there's actually a hole going through here that goes straight to it. So I was really wondering why the other one wasn't like that, but whatever. Here's my connector, goes right there. This is on the passenger side of the frame. This piece just sits up in here. It's an air temperature probe. It connects to this guy. So I'm gonna get that piece on, the silver dam. I'm gonna get that on. And then I'll get back with you guys and I'll get more in depth on the skid plate on the job one frame deal. All right, we got the little trim piece on. I kind of messed up. The center piece is supposed to attach to it first, but this thing is a little on the tacky side still, so I'm not gonna mess with it right now. I'll fix that later on. Right now I'm gonna take this skid plate off, bolt on the skid plate, I set it over there, and then I'm going to figure out the holes in the frame. So I will get in depth with that with you guys. All right, to give you an idea what I'm talking about, the plate is bolted on. 215 mils, this side's a little loose, this side's tight. It's hanging a little low right now. Right there is where it's gonna sit. I have that bracket bolted on. As you can see, it doesn't line up with a hole. Gonna have to drill a hole, which is fine. And I will show you the bracket. So this is said bracket. Comes with this locating tab. So like I said, it was supposed to be something like that basically. As you can see, that does not line up. It has to come forward roughly an inch. I'll measure it. And that one I cut off. You can see it's smooth, it's still shiny because I haven't painted it yet. I'm gonna paint it, but I just cut it off with a cut-off wheel right here. Boom. And then ground it down with a die grinder. I have an electric one. Air one works fine too. Just to make it smooth. So that's pretty much all you have to do if you have a job one frame is cut that off, and then you have to do what I'm doing, line it up, find your hole, you know, mark it, punch through, and then figure out how to get a bolt in there. Because these normally take body clips or blind nuts, body nuts, blind nuts, whatever you want to call them. So we're gonna have to actually fish a nut up in there once the hole's drilled, find a way to kind of hold it, and then, you know, tighten it down. So that's gonna be the challenging part of this, but we're gonna figure it out. I'm not too concerned. So if I have to go through the inside there somehow or whatever, I don't know, I'll figure it out. I'll be back once I have it bolted up, but I'm loving the way it's looking. I'm sure you guys are too, especially if you're watching this video. Yeah, I started pulling that inner fender out. It's really makes the front end pop, and it's gonna make it look a lot taller. So, there it is, bolted up on this side, not that side yet. Bolted back here. See, 2 bolts are in. That's bolted to the frame. That did end up being center of that hole to center of this hole is exactly 1 inch. So if you have a job 1 frame, I assume this is gonna be for everyone with a job 1 frame, confirm though. Center of that hole to center of that hole, 1 inch. I just wanted to bolt it up real quick to verify fitment. I'm going to measure this side. I gotta put the bracket on and measure this side. And then once that's done, I can pop my front valance piece back off. And as you can see, it doesn't match the greatest now that but I don't think you really see it going down the road. I mean, it might just be the angle too, I don't know. But once I get this all done, I'll pop that back off, put my center piece back on, and put the truck back together. I'll be right back. Just to give you guys a quick idea of what I'm doing here, bolting on the bracket. That I just cut this side, bolted it on, take my Sharpie, I've already marked it, and you know, you just kind of wiggle around in the hole, if you will. And then I'm gonna pull it back off. I'll measure this side real quick for you guys. I'm fairly confident it's gonna be 1 inch, and then I'm drilling the hole with this bit right here as a starter hole. Can't see the size, of course. It is, I don't know, it's a smaller bit. And then whatever I did to my drill, there it is. And then I'm using a step bit, and I did the whole hole on the bit. So 1/2 inch is what I'm drilling it to. If you guys don't have one of these and you want to do something like this, I highly recommend getting yourself a step bit. It makes it so easy. You're not changing out a bunch of drill bits to drill the hole. They're available on Amazon, Harbor Freight, Snap-on truck, whatever you want to pay, basically. I'm going to get this done real quick. I'm going to pop that valance off. I'm probably just going to finish it up, and then I'll be back with you guys. I know I said I won't be back till it's done, but I forgot to tell you guys about this bracket. The kit comes with this bracket. It bolts in place where all these 10 mils that you took out are. It's pretty self-explanatory. Well, should be. I was trying to put it in upside down. I was like, this doesn't look right. It goes like this, and the bottom of the valance bolts to it. Once again, I didn't get any hardware for that, but I have metric stuff, so I should be good. There should be M8s maybe. And another just, you know, tip. Clean back here while you got it apart. Why not? There it is, finished product. I'll show you guys a second. In a couple minutes, I'll show you on the ground. But the match isn't perfect on the paint, but it's close enough. You're never gonna notice it going down the road. Like I said, I had to use all my own hardware, so if it does come with hardware, that's not gonna be it. Funny enough, there's the oil spout. I have a 5 liter once again. I'm gonna have to pull this off real quick because I was planning on doing an oil change today. So this will be my first oil change with this on it as well. But I think it turned out good. On this side, once again, that center to hole is exactly 1 inch for me. You know, I'd imagine it'd be the same on every job 1 truck. But that's how it looks. I love the way it looks. It kind of sets the front end off, makes it just look a little different. And like I said, that thing's a solid 3 or 4 inches, where this is like 1/2 inch. It's gonna make your front end just look a little bit taller. Here in a couple days, actually showing up today, is my Bilstein 6112 coilover struts, whatever you want to call them. So I'm going to set it at the highest setting, the 2.5 inch. So I will make a video here in a couple days on that, maybe next week, raising it up. The tire should probably sit about there, roughly, once I do it. So right now it's all stock. I'll make a video on that. I'm gonna do my oil change real quick and I'll show you guys what this thing looks like on the ground and outside. All right, there it is, all done. As you can see, all skid plates on and got a fresh oil change. And you can definitely see a lot more tire right here. You know, it used to hang down to about there. So definitely helps the front end of the truck out. Makes it look a little bit more aggressive, I think. I'll be back with you guys next week with the leveling kit. Here's a good before shot. It's a solid 3 inches there difference. So I think with the 2.5 inch, it'll be, I don't know why no one makes like a 3-inch leveling kit. But anyways, 2.5 inch was the highest I could find, and it was the Bilsteins, which from what I'm reading have the best reviews. So I'm gonna give them a try, and hopefully it brings it up where I want it. I'd like it to be square with that one, but I guess 1/2 inch won't be too noticeable. I'll see you guys next week. Thank you.